Fires are still burning in Ferguson this morning. The cleanup begins. Violent protests erupted last night after a grand jury chose to not charge Darren Wilson, the officer who shot and killed an unarmed black teenager more than 3 months ago. Crowds poured into the streets to protest this decision. There has been looting, there has been arson, there have been gunshots.
Overnight, officers used smoke bombs and tear gas to break up some of the riots, but many are not going home. Just after 1 a.m., Missouri Governor Jay Nixon called up additional members of the National Guard to protect the police headquarters. New video continues to pour into the newsroom. The damage caused overnight is unbelievable.
And Fox 13's Shayla Reeves joins us in studio this morning. There doesn't seem to be any end to this in sight.
Yeah, Russell, we're learning more about some of these arrests overnight. Some 29 reported by Unified Command. A St. Louis Post-Dispatch photographer has been capturing the scene unfolding on the ground, documenting some of these arrests, everything from suspicion of looting to trespassing. Now here's a look at the aftermath. This is video just into our newsroom this morning. Police cars, they've been vandalized. Buildings and car dealerships burned. Throughout the morning, smoke and flames have billowed into the air. At least 12 fires have broken out overnight. Storefront windows have been shattered, sidewalks littered with glass. Empty boxes, once filled with merchandise, discarded by looters. Gunshots have echoed down some of the city's streets. At some points, police used tear gas to try and regain control. The National Guard, they responded to help keep the peace. The St. Louis County Police Chief had this to say about the violence.
I don't think we were underprepared, but I'll be honest with you, unless we bring 10,000 policemen in here, I don't think we can prevent folks that really are intent on just destroying a community.
Now we can tell you Michael Brown's family has continued to ask for peace, and while some protesters have honored that, others have not. The St. Louis County Police Chief, again, he has called this some of the worst violence he's seen in that area since August. We are just getting word, though, from our St. Louis Fox affiliate KTVI that a press conference that we learned about that was planned by Michael Brown's family, it is now scheduled for 11 o'clock this morning there in St. Louis. We learned earlier that Reverend Al Sharpton is expected to join them. I'll keep monitoring the feeds and social media here throughout the morning and bring you another update coming up at 7 o'clock. Guys, back to you.
All right, Shayla, thank you. And at least 10 St. Louis-bound flights had to be diverted to other airports because of concern about gunfire being aimed into the skies over Ferguson. Just law enforcement aircraft were permitted to fly through that area.
The video of a city falling apart has been hard to watch. Even camera crews are coming under attack, including Fox News correspondent Steve Harrigan.
This is live television. What about all the people that have these masks on like that guy? How many people are covering themselves? Uh-oh. All right, as you can see, we lost Steve Harrigan's shot.
A protester wearing a Guy Fawkes mask grabbed their camera live on the air. The mask has become a symbol for anarchy. A short while later, Harrigan was forced to take cover when guns started going off right behind him. He and his crew are okay. We've also learned that Fox News Channel reporter Mike Tobin was hit with tear gas. Ferguson is not alone. Protests have sprung up in more than a dozen cities from Los Angeles to New York, and this is new video from Oakland, California. Hundreds of demonstrators marched down I-580. Police were forced to shut down traffic. A similar scene is also playing out in Seattle and L.A.
It is almost 6:06, and the grand jury was made up of 9 whites, 3 blacks. They heard more than 70 hours of testimony from 60 witnesses. They met in secret, but last night authorities released more than 1,000 pages of grand jury documents. And these documents give some insight into how the grand jury reached its decision. They include everything from lengthy medical reports to testimony from Officer Wilson himself. And he says he encountered Michael Brown and a friend walking on the street. He had heard about a robbery at a nearby convenience store and noticed Brown had a handful of cigars. Well, he stopped his car. Wilson stopped his car in front of him, and he tried to open his door. Says Brown slammed it shut and hit him in the face. Wilson warned Brown to get back, but Brown taunted him and grabbed at his gun. And then Brown ran. Wilson followed. Witness accounts differ after this. Some say that Brown walked, while others say he charged back toward Wilson before being fatally shot. There are also differing accounts of whether Brown's hands were raised.
Wilson remains on paid leave, but there's no indication whether he'll ever return to active duty in Ferguson. He issued a statement through his attorney last night. It thanks those who stood by him, but does not mention Michael Brown. As the protests continue, everyone from President Obama to pro athletes are reacting to the news.
And we're going to have more from it later on in the hour, and we'll continue to bring you the latest from Ferguson throughout the morning.